Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Really happy to be here today. We're doing something a little bit different today. It's a beautiful day to be riding, but we decided to do a little detailing. Now, I've been cleaning bikes and cars for a lot of years, and I don't really see what makes it so complex. Typically I use these products. Nice bottle of Comet, extra grit if you can to get those flies off. And a nice hard abrasive scrubber like this is what I've been using over the years. Neil, how do you feel? If that's a good idea or?
So 1970 called, they want their car cleaning products back. I'm about to bring you into 2023 with what the cool kids do now.
When I get on like that, I'm going to leave.
Perhaps with those products you should. Hey everybody, as Monty said, it's a great day and thanks a million for joining us. We're going to take you through the process of a full detailing of the motorcycle that's belonged to Hank Williams, and we'll have a closer look at Hank's bike in a few minutes, but it does need a bit of TLC. I guess has a bit of a background. I bought a new to me muscle car in 2014 that was in great shape, but the paint had been neglected for 2 years. So I had a friend who's an expert. I spent a week with him and I learned about all the things that I was doing wrong. So we're going to take you through the whole process today. It's a long process, but once it's done at the beginning of the riding season, it's just maintenance and it's 15 minutes and you're good to go. So let's get started. Okay, so the first step today is the world famous baggie test. So you come out for the beginning of the riding season, you look at your bike and you say, yeah, you know what, it's pretty clean. And it might look clean, but over the riding season, if you're an early starter, you're going to pick up that bit of road salt that's left. You're going to pick up road grime and you're going to pick up road dust, and it's going to embed itself into your paint. So if you get out with your bare fingers and just gently rub the paint finish of your motorcycle, you might say, yeah, that feels pretty clean. But if you take a baggie and very gently put the baggie, your hand inside the baggie, and very gently just run your fingers. I don't know if the microphone will pick it up or not, but it actually feels like sandpaper through the baggie as opposed to your fingertips. Okay, now that we've confirmed that Hank's bike does have dirt in the paint and on the chrome, it's time to start the detailing process. So the first thing we're going to do is wet the bike down. So rule number one is products should never be used on a dry bike unless you're into the final detailing phases. The more dry cloths you put against a paint job that's dirty, it's going to mar or scar the paint, so we want to avoid that. So we're going to wet the bike down, and once the bike is wet, we're going to use a foam cannon to make sure we put a good layer of foam, and that will help lift the dirt off the bike. And then after the foam has a chance to dwell for about 5 minutes, we'll hose it off, and that should lift some of the heavy dirt off of the bike. So let's get started. So the first step is the foam cannon. For those of you that own the 3500 PSI pressure washers that has the foam cannon attachment, leave them in the garage. Rain doesn't come at your bike at 500 miles an hour. And if you use a pressure washer on a motorcycle, it's going to drive water in places water was never meant to be. So my suggestion is, there's a number of different manufacturers, a number of different products, but the good old Canadian Tire Chemical Guys foam cannon that hooks up to your garden hose. $34.99, any Canadian Tire. You can order them as well from Amazon. You can get them at Walmart. They're all pretty much the same. It's the same manufacturer, just branded differently. For those of you that decide it's time to clean the bike and you're going to go to the kitchen and get your Palm Olive dish detergent.
Oh, I love that stuff. I use that all the time.
Fantastic, wonderful. Dish detergent stays in the kitchen. Dish detergent is highly alkaline. It's not pH balanced, and it's designed to strip kitchen grime and kitchen grease. If you use it on your motorcycle paint, it's going to interfere with the pH balance of your automotive paint, and it's going to cause more damage. Squeaky clean on a motorcycle is not a good clean.
Why do I feel like I'm in school? You want me to get that for you, Neil?
That's okay. Where's Trevor when you need him? Okay, so I'm just going to fill this up to the soap line. Again, I'm using just a regular old Canadian Tire Auto Glim. All the manufacturers make similar product. The difference with automotive wash is it's pH balanced, and it also contains a lubricant, which will prevent the marring of your paint. Here's my soap line. I just fill the dispenser with tap water. And we're good to go. And that's not how you hook up your foam cannon.
Throw it in the bloopers, don't worry about it.
Perfect. Okay, you should certainly leave this on your bike for about 5 minutes to let the foam cannon do its work by lifting the dirt from the paint. But certainly don't leave it on long enough that the sun's going to dry it on. If it dries on, you got to start again.
So Neil, a nice hot blistering day is a good day to clean your bike, is it?
A nice hot blistering day is a good day to drink beer and sit on your patio or ride your bike. The best days for detailing your bike are in the shade or cloudy days with cool temperatures. This is a perfect day for detailing a bike. Okay, now we wait. Smoke them if you got them. Any vehicle, clean is clean and dirty is dirty. Nothing drives me around the bend more than seeing people with one wash bucket and they're washing the dirt and grime off of their car, their motorcycle, they're dropping their rags back into their water and coming out again. Just as well you take 1,000 grit sandpaper and run it over your motorcycle. Clean is clean, dirty is dirty. A couple of things. Number one, nothing except for microfiber cloths. Doesn't matter who the manufacturer is, nothing but microfiber cloths. Anything else will mar your paint. If you choose to buy your microfiber cloths from that big box warehouse in Dannyland, make sure you cut the edges off of them and wash them several times with fabric softener because they're as hard as hell. Okay, we're going to prep our product and our buckets, get our rags ready, and we're going to go out now and do the least fun part of detailing, and that's washing the motorcycle. So you're going to have your rags, your 2-bucket method. The last quick thing I want to show you is how to get the most out of your rags. So rags should only be used on a clean surface once only. So take your rags and fold it in half and fold it in half again. I'm going to wash my motorcycle. I'm going to flip it over and wash my motorcycle. Then I'm going to flip it in on itself, use both sides again. Then I'm going to turn it inside out and use the other 4 parts. So that gives you the most use out of your washcloths with least a chance of carrying dirt back to your motorcycle and marring your paint. Okay, we've filled our bucket with the wash soap, and our clean cloths go into our wash bucket. And the second bucket we're just going to fill with regular cold water, and the 2-bucket method is basically to help you down the road when it comes time to clean your rags. It'll help get some of the dirt out of the rags before they go into the washing machine with some fabric softener and detergent. Off we go. And one more quick point, boys and girls. Anytime you drop a rag on the ground, consider it to be contaminated. Okay, it can't be used again. It might look clean to you, but you're going to pick up grit from your driveway, and again, it'll be sandpaper on your paint. So make sure your paint is always wet. And the last thing about washing a motorcycle, always left or right, or up and down, never in circles, because in circles causes swirls. And start from the top, work your way down. Okay, so we've pretty much finished the 2-bucket method and washed the motorcycle from stem to stern. Good nautical term for you, Trevor, not like a floor or as opposed to a deck. The last thing left to do now will be the wheels, and they're the dirtiest part of the bike, of course. I've used a lot of products, but I really find that the Turtle, of all things, Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions, I find it to be one of the best. It's a foaming solution, spray it on a damp wheel, let it dwell for a minute, and then use your detailing brush. Does a wonderful job. Okay, so we wet down the motorcycle, then we used our foam cannon to release the hard dirt from the motorcycle in the paint, and you can actually see a little bit of a difference now. The next step now is to start the paint decontamination process. Number of different products available. If you talk to some people, they say Chemical Guys is the best, and others will say CARPRO is the best. You know what, I think they're all good. It's just that some people prefer some products over others. One of the products available to you is from Canadian Tire, and it's called Magma, and I find it's pretty good. It's from Autoglim. It's a good product that comes from the UK, or sorry, from Germany, I believe. I prefer personally to use a product called Iron-X from CARPRO. You can't buy it here locally. I find it does a little bit of a better job. You'll see today that a lot of the products I'm using are from CARPRO, and I order them from Alberta. The only reason I order CARPRO, I like the product, number one, and number two, a lot of their products are available in concentrate, and with a bit of distilled water I can mix my own. So to give you an idea, if you buy instant waterless wash detailer from Canadian Tire, you'll pay $19.99. I'm using the CARPRO concentrate that I mix myself. I can do it for about $1.50 for 500 mils. So let's get started. And it stinks to the high heavens. So be sure that you don't track it into your house. Make sure you wash your shoes, or take them off, of course, before you go in. So you'll see now that the product has been applied and it's starting to dwell on the paint, you'll see these little purple spots coming out. And those purple spots are actually contamination that's embedded in the paint, and the product is actually lifting them out of the paint. It's time to dry the bike. I always prefer to blow dry as opposed to using rags. Once again, the more times rags touch your motorcycle, the better chance of marring and scarring the paint. This is a Air Force Blaster Sidekick. I bought it from a place in Alberta called Auto Obsessed. You can buy the exact same unit from Canadian Tire, brand under Chemical Guys, or you know what, a leaf blower works just fine as well. Okay, we're finished washing and drying the motorcycle. We still have some paint contamination we have to deal with. The best way now to deal with that will be using a clay bar. Clay bars you can purchase any automotive store, doesn't matter which ones you buy. This one is I just picked up. It's from a product from a company called Mothers. The trick with clay bar is you don't need the full clay bar, you just need a small piece. And clay bar will only work if you make sure that you knead it first, and you need to have a lubricant. So lubricant can be an auto detailing spray. The cheaper the better, because you want to waste a lot of it. Or you can use soap, 1 part soap to 10 parts water. But I find soap leaves a residue. At least when you're using auto detailer, you get a bit of detailing as well. So the other trick as well when you're using clay bar is, again, never in circles, always left or right or up or down. And as you contaminate the surface of the clay bar, you need to make sure you fold it in on itself and knead it again to trap the dirt on the inside. So I'm using a fine product from Autoglim. It's a rapid detailer. It's a great product. Not the one that I normally use for detailing, but it's left over and it's good. So let's give it a try. So I'm going to try to make sure I get the rest of the contamination. So I'm going to start with the windshield. As you can see, there's some Hopefully the camera will pick that up. Let's see if we can get that out. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can actually hear the clay bar as it hits the contaminations.
So Neil, is there any reason you wouldn't just use a like a terry cloth or whatever rather than the clay bar?
So the clay bar, as it glides over the painted surfaces or the glass, actually the contamination will stick to it and it'll lift out of the paint or out of the glass. So a soft cloth won't do the same trick.
Just wipes it off, basically.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you keep it dry, or sorry, keep it moist.
You mentioned earlier this is something that you're going to do once a year. It takes about 3 or 4 hours.
It's a labor of love, but it's an investment. So take your rainy day in your garage. Nothing wrong with washing your bike outside in the rain. Keeps it nice and wet. Take it inside, dry it. Put on the Irish Newfoundland show. Get yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. Get clear of your partner, and spend the day quality time with your motorcycle. Then the rest of the summer, it's a quick lick and a promise and riding time. Okay, now that we've clay barred the motorcycle, it's time for one final buff to make sure there's no residue or the product left behind. And also, if we're buffing and we find that your cloth drags at all, there's probably still a bit of dirt left over. And if we feel that there may be some dirt, we'll just do our baggy test one more time. And I think that spot there needs a little bit more TLC. And we should be good. Okay, and our final step is to make the bike jump at you for the wow factor. And that's just to make sure that the contrasting colors stand out. So the next product I'm going to use again is from CARPRO. It's called PERL, which stands for Plastic, Engine, Rubber and Leather. The beauty about this one is you can use it on your leather, and if you pile on your brakes, you don't end up on top of your tank. So we're going to dress the leather, and it should bring out the luster of the leather, and let's see what you think.
So that's diluted, is it?
It is, yeah. So I buy this as a concentrate and mix it 1-to-8. You can use it raw for things like tires, that kind of stuff. But again, you can buy leather conditioner cleaner at the local hardware store. But when you buy it as a concentrate and mix it yourself, you're saving a few bucks. So just wipe the product in, let it come to dry on its own, and then just wipe off any residue afterwards with a clean cloth. An eraser is basically alcohol based, and it serves two purposes. If you have a lot of wax and polish residue left over from seasons of detailing your bike, you can actually wipe down your whole bike with the the eraser, and it will take all of the polish off of your motorcycle, and you're starting with a clean plate. Also, if you have some stubborn stains, some stubborn spots, like we have one here, this is the step you're going to do before you break out your orbital polisher to try to get it. There it was, gone.
Oh, perfect.
In the detailing process is, of course, to dress your tires. I just find that the Canadian Tire product, Mother's Back on Black, is fantastic. The trick is you spray the product onto your applicator, not onto your rubber. Apply it sparingly, and do not apply it to the rubber part that hits the road, only the sidewalls. So this is a two-person effort, so I'll detail what I can, and Monty will have to roll the motorcycle, so I get the rest. So Hank, you get the White House warranty with my detailing job, which means it's warranted as far as the White House on the corner up there.
Thanks a lot, Neil. This was great. It helped me a lot too, because I didn't have a clue about how to do this properly, and I know I've been doing it wrong, and that's why I got so many swirls in my bike. So,
which we're going to fix.
Right. We're going to do a video on how to buff.
Excellent.
All right, guys. Thanks very much.